Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. Today my friends, I'm going to be testing the GTX 1650 Super. As you can see over here in the MSI Afterburner and here in GeForce Experience, I am running a Ryzen 7 3700X with 16 gigs of RAM, dual channel, CL14, 3200 MHz. You don't need these specs to not bottleneck the GTX 1650 Super, especially at the 1440p resolution that we're about to test in this video. So, as I said, 2560 by 1440 is the resolution of choice. We're going to be playing on low, competitive, which is low with epic view distance, medium, no shadows, high with no shadows, and epic with no shadows. DirectX 11 is also the API of choice here because DirectX 12 is basically broken and it doesn't really run well on Nvidia cards. Why is it Team Rumble? I don't want Team Rumble. Squads. I selected squads. I don't want Team Rumble. All right, we're doing this, guys. Oh my gosh. Alright everybody, we are here with the 1650 Super at 1440p low settings. I just finished recording the GTX 1060 video actually like 15 minutes ago, and yeah, let's just compare the two of them because they are actually fairly close in performance, I think, in Fortnite Battle Royale at least. So I'm curious to see how the 1650 Super will perform at 1440p because I've never tested 1440p with this card. Now the temperatures are gonna rise up a little bit with this card because this is the Asus Phoenix version of the card and it performs quite poorly when it comes to temperatures, to be honest. The cooler is just not very appropriate to dissipate 100 powers. What? 100 powers? 100 watts of power. Oh my god. Thanks guys for carrying me. Today I got my beautiful subscribers carrying me, which is a very good thing. Oh boy, what are you doing to my boy, DRF? What are you guys doing to my boy? Where are they? Okay, I got one. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, this is bad. It reminds me of Battlefield. No, it reminds me of Far Cry 5 with the GTX 580. Yeah, let's just revive our boy now. Okay, can we do that? Jesus Christ, I'm just gonna go. Very good team. I think we're gonna win this one, definitely. And as I was trying to say, guys, you know what? The GTX 1660 Ti, which consumes 120 watts of power, actually does have a Phoenix version from Asus as well. So that GPU with this cooler actually ends up reaching like 85 degrees Celsius from what I've seen so far in other videos and stuff. So it's just really weird. What, do you want this? Like that. Right guys, so I think that's enough for low settings. We've seen 188 FPS average, 127 FPS 1% lows. I think the 1% lows on the 1060 were a little bit better, but again, we saw a little fight there as well, and with the 1060 I don't think we saw it. We got a little stutter there as well. Right now, that's just normal. Well, let's go ahead now and do epic view distance. So these are the competitive settings. Let's just reset our counting system and do this all over again. So we might see now like our 1% lows dropping by like 5 or 10 FPS as well as our averages. So it's still gonna be very smooth. We got a little stutter there again. Why does this engine stutter so much? It's actually an engine problem, I think, from what I've seen so far. Every time I play a game with the Unreal 4 engine, it always stutters. No matter what I do, no matter if I install it on an SSD, on a hard drive, laptops, desktops. I've tested like 4 desktops already and it stutters in every single one of them. It's just a game problem, you know. I really wish that Epic would fix these random stutters, but they aren't really game breaking. They don't happen too often, for example like in PUBG. Yeah, it's still a very smooth experience, don't get me wrong. If you have a 144 Hz monitor at 1440p, you'll have no problems playing like this. Okay, that's a mushroom, I think. Alright, let's just switch to medium settings and attack those guys over there. That's a good idea, I think. Okay, my boys are already doing that. I hear someone very close to me. And it always takes a while to apply the medium settings. Oh god. Alright, medium settings are now applied. I'm just gonna do my little 360. That didn't work very well. Oh boy. Oh boy. I was changing my settings, buddy. Why? I'm gonna eat this. Yep. Oh, that's so bad. That only regenerated like what, 5 points of health? Okay. Oh boy, almost got that guy. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's, oh my gosh. Oh my, okay. We're good. We're doing this, I think. Where? Oh, there he is. Where's the other one? Up there, maybe? We really need to be careful here, or more careful, guys. Oh my, okay, I got it. There's another one, very far away. 2 of them there. I'm just gonna heal up a little bit here, guys. Just regenerating some health. Oh my god, oh my god. I'm just gonna go behind them. That's a good idea. Oh, massive stutter again there. No, they're there, I think. I'm coming from behind them. I'm really low HP, by the way. No! Oh, no, that was a bad idea. It looks like it was a bad idea. Danny got this. Okay. Oh my god, it was a good idea if this guy wasn't there, you know? Alright, let's count our FPS again here on medium, shall we? Please. Right, I got mini shields, thank you very much. Okay, so, oh, the RF is just, is in the whipping woods anyway, so that's good. Alright, a little stutter there, that's normal, as usual. But you know what, guys, the game runs really well here on medium settings, kind of the same as the GTX 1060. Yeah, the screen is flickering. I'm not sure if that's because of the sun going down or whatever. What do you want, buddy? It's kind of the same, getting the same FPS as the GTX 1060 that I tested earlier today as well. Alright, guys, so that's medium settings, okay. 107 FPS on average, 1% lows of 85. Very, very smooth, of course. Let's drop the shadows this time around, and everything looks a little bit more blend, of course, but you can actually see the character models better, and yeah, that's a little bit of a competitive advantage, I think. And the game is running a little bit smoother as well, with like 15 or 10 to 20 more FPS sometimes in some areas. So I think, yeah, it's still kind of the same around here, to be honest. We're getting like 5 more FPS, I think, from dropping the shadows, but I think medium shadows look a little bit bad because of that render distance of the shadows, so I wouldn't really play on medium settings with the shadows enabled anyways, because of that issue. It's not really an issue, it's just Epic that decided to implement it that way here in Chapter 2. In Chapter 1 or Season 10, for example, it wasn't like that. The shadows on medium actually looked pretty damn good, and I would have no problem playing on medium settings. It was actually very enjoyable. So yeah, guys, that's medium settings without shadows, and let's go ahead now and stop it right there. 115 FPS on average, 90 FPS, 1% lows. Very, very smooth. If you have a 144p, what? No, not 144p. If you have a 1440p monitor, 144 Hz, you'll definitely notice that high refresh rate here with the 1650 Super, which is good to see, of course. This is like a lower end graphics card here in 2020, and it's able to run Fortnite absolutely fine here at 1440p. Now, we are seeing it dropping into the 50s here on high settings, whereas the 1060 actually was able to keep it up in the 60s all of the time, or almost all of the time. It actually dropped into the high 50s like once or twice, but we already saw it dropping into the mid 50s here with the 1650 Super. 57 right there, 56, 55. Yeah, it's running a little bit worse than the 1066 gigabyte, but again, the 1066 gigabyte that I tested was actually overclocked a little bit. I didn't overclock the 1650 Super. If I did, it will probably be on par with the GTX 1060. So yeah, it's basically the same. They perform very, very close to each other, as you can probably, at least in Fortnite, as you can probably tell as well from the comparison video that I made between the 1650 Super and the GTX 1066 gigabyte. In most games, the 1650 Super actually won, like Macro Exodus and stuff like that. Like newer games, basically, the 1650 Super has a little bit of an advantage because of the newer architecture, of course. And the 1060 in older games like PUBG and Fortnite was basically the same as this one. Of course, 1060 having 2 more gigabytes of VRAM will help, especially at 1440p. My gosh. Oh no, oh my god, what have I done? Did you lose any health, buddy? I'm coming. Oh no, oh no! It's Jesus Christ, oh my god, we already died, all of us. Jesus. Well, that was really fast. Okay, so 61 FPS average, 51 FPS, 1% lows. It's kind of smooth. Overclock it and it will be fine, probably above 60 FPS all of the time, or almost all of the time. So if you don't overclock it, I wouldn't really play at high settings, to be honest. And now let's go ahead and drop the shadows here and get into another one. Alright guys, let's go to the Weeping Woods once again for like, I don't even know how many times I've dropped in the Weeping Woods today, like 10, 15, counting with the GTX 1060 video. It was a lot. Okay, so now we're at high settings, of course, without shadows, just as we left it, and we are seeing 60 plus FPS while dropping over here, seeing all of these trees from up here. So that's kind of impressive. It's okay, it's good performance, you know. It's 1440p. 1440p is a massive resolution jump coming from 1080p. It might not seem like a lot, but it actually is a ton of more pixels than 1080p. I think it's 1.5 million more pixels. I think 1440p is just a sweet spot, you know. 27 inches, 1440p, the pixel density is really high, it looks beautiful, and I actually upgraded to this monitor from a 60Hz 1080p 27-inch monitor, which was IPS actually. So this one is actually TN, but it's one of the best TNs out there, to be honest. The colors are decent, you know, the viewing angles are decent as well. Omened by HP 27, something like that, you know. I really like this monitor. I bought it used, of course, as I usually do. And yeah, 27 inches, 165 Hz G-Sync, not G-Sync compatible, it's actually G-Sync. And I bought it for $300 like a year or two ago. I don't remember, but it was a good deal. Back then, there were no like G-Sync compatible monitors, and there were only G-Sync, and it was quite the premium to pay for that technology, you know. And I managed to grab it for $300 used, and it still had warranty as well. And I'm not sure why I'm talking about this and not the FPS in the 1650 Super, but whatever. 85 FPS on average here, 69 FPS, 1% lows. What a beautiful, beautiful number that is. And yeah, let's stop it right there and change it now to Epic, and hopefully I'll be able to do everything here, Epic and Epic with no shadows, in this game without dying. That's our objective here in this one. Wow, the game looks really beautiful with shadows enabled. I'm not gonna lie, everything looks really great now on Epic, but of course the performance is not so good anymore. So if you want like 60 plus FPS all of the time at Epic settings, I think 1080p is your resolution of choice. I think the 1650 Super did a good job at 1080p Epic settings here. And well guys, we are doing this at least. So 42 FPS on average, 37 FPS, 1% low so far. So it's an okay experience. If you want the best graphics possible at 1440p, you can play like this. It's really a bad experience compared to 60 FPS or 100 FPS. So if you can get 60 FPS, of course, I would highly recommend you to drop the settings by a bit and play at 60 FPS or like 100 FPS. If you have a high refresh rate monitor, it's gonna feel way smoother and way better than 60. But you know, at least the game isn't stuttering. And oh Jesus Christ, what's going on? I'm not sure. I just picked up a thing to revive my guy, so I'm gonna do that. So again, we're seeing our FPS a little bit lower than the GTX 1066GB because of the overclock in that GPU probably. So that's Epic settings in the Whipping Woods. Keep in mind that outside of the Whipping Woods, you are of course gonna be getting like 5 to 10 more FPS here on Epic settings. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But I don't recommend Epic settings anyways, just because it looks virtually the same as high settings, and it just runs really awfully compared to high settings. On high settings we were getting the 60 FPS average, so yeah, 60 FPS average to 42 is a massive difference. Now, dropping the shadows, as you can see there, those are turned off right now. We are now getting 100 FPS. We are inside the house, of course, so we're getting a few more FPS, but this feels way smoother. It's a massive difference. When you're playing with like 30 or 40 FPS and then switch to a high refresh rate monitor at 100 FPS or even like 70 something FPS, it's just so big of a difference, guys. It feels way better. Your aim is gonna be better. It's really smooth. Oh god, how? Why? Why? Guys, I don't know why, but the 1650 Super is cursed. I don't want to play this game anymore on this GPU. You know, the performance is awesome, but I just keep dying and dying. I think I made the 1060 video in like 40 something minutes, and this one's taking like an hour or more. I'm not even sure, but you know what? I'm not gonna get into another one. Oh my gosh. We've seen enough here. 79 FPS on average, 1% lows of 60 FPS, 60 flat, so it's gonna be a very good experience here on epic settings without shadows. The game will look good, but of course not as good as high settings, for example. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you did and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully, and I love you all. Bye-bye.